Okay, so this is part 2 of a video I just made of decapitating my African violet and restarting it from the crown. These are some of the leaves that I had pulled off, and this is a guy that accidentally got included. I don't know if I'm going to use him because he's a little older, but I pulled all these leaves off of the crown so that I would have more of a stem to be able to restart the crown with than just like sitting it on top of the dirt. So now I've got all these nice leaves that are medium age. They're not new, they're not old, they're just about right for starting African violets. If you notice, it still looks like kind of messy here. I covered up my stain because it distracts me, to be honest. The reason nothing has changed since the other video is since I'm working with the same plant and the same soil and the same pretty much everything, there wasn't really a reason for me to disinfect and like start the whole process over. But once I get done with this project, I'm gonna take everything and throw it away. So, all right, let's get started on these guys. I'm gonna pull my chair over. Like, I'm at that lovely age where I take my glasses on and off to be able to see, and so I have to get down here at table level to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so we can use these to start African violets. It's called leaf propagation. This is a petiole. It's also, more commonly a leaf stem. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut these at a 45 degree angle here so that it's kind of facing up whenever we put it into the soil. And we're going to cut it at about 1 inch so that we have enough to get into the soil, but we have enough of the leaf up above that it won't touch the soil, and hopefully in about 6 weeks to 2 months we will have some baby Picasso plants. I really love this plant. It was one of the plants, Picasso, not specifically the plant I've been working on. It was one of the first standard African violets that I've ever had. Sadly, the first one, I didn't understand the concept of wicking and alkaline hard water, and I lost that one. But I have one that I'm working on now, and I'm probably gonna end up with more babies than I know what to do with here. Okay, so I use an X-Acto knife. If you use scissors, it crushes your stem. And you go down about 1 inch and you just cut it like that. And so I'm gonna do a side by side here. So this one was broken off with nothing done to it yet, and this one I have cut it here so that it's cut at a 45 degree angle, and I hope it's showing really good. I can't really see the screen very well. Okay, all right, so that's what I'm doing to all of these. Oh my goodness, I just made a video and spent 13 minutes of my life recording a video that was out of focus the whole time. So after I showed how to cut the petiole on the other one, it just stayed blurry like the whole rest of the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this big guy to show you how I do leaf pots. Alright, so let me go ahead and cut it at the angle like I've already showed you that I'm not going to make blurry. Okay. If I can get the skin there we go. Skin's kind of weird over here. Alright, so I've got him trimmed. I still have a little bit of my stuff over here left that that's dry, that I can wipe off. You want to like have enough of it on there that you can see that it's on there, but not so much that it's like cakey white. Okay, the other thing that I do to prepare my leaves is I slice the end of it off. I've tried this. I've tried some that have the end of the leaf on, and I've had some that have the end of the leaf cut off. And the ones that have the end of the leaf cut off are so much faster. So I would wholeheartedly recommend slicing off the tip of your leaf. Okay, I am getting a little bit of, I've got a smaller pot because it's only one leaf this time. I'll show you the other one that I was working on here in just a second. Okay. Then I can just take my perlite and put it down the bottom. Maybe I got it a little bit wetter than what I care for. So, all right, that's gone. Perfect. It was meant to be. All right, so I do pack the perlite because later on it helps to keep it from coming out of the bottom. I'm gonna wring the soil that I had ready for all this is also extremely wet, so I've been like wringing it out. I like for it to have enough moisture that it clumps together, but not so much that it that you can wring it out. So I wring it out. I mean, why just keep adding soil? All right, so I don't pack it in. Do you see how I broke it up as I put it in there? I like to keep my soil nice and light and airy as much as you can with wet soil in my pot. Then I poke a hole, and here's why. You could just like jab this in the dirt, but it damages this end. And my understanding is that you're far more likely to get babies if you are careful with planting it than if you just jab it in there. So we're just going to very gently put it in like this. Okay. So that's really all there is to that. And then I like to tap it down behind the leaf too. It feels like it's a little more stable to me. And then the way that I have this guy in here, I can do it on this one. He's resting on the edge of my pot. And so I'm going to put a wick in here in a little bit, and then I'll bag it and you know, label it, and so that we know how long we have to wait. This is the one that I did earlier. Very cute. And one of the guys at our club does this. And I used to just put like one leaf in one little pot and bag it and wait. Sometimes it would come up in 6 weeks. Sometimes it would come up in 6 months. I've experimented with this because I had not done this, and more than one person in my club was like, oh, this is how I do it. And so I tried it literally like 4 weeks from the time I stuck half wilted leaves in the dirt to the time that little tiny babies were popping up. I'm like, oh, well, that cut that a lot shorter. They're miniature trailers too, so there is that. Anyway, I've got a little wick in here. I had also wrung out this soil so that it wasn't heavy wet like it was on the crown earlier. And I'm gonna put a gallon bag over this and let it sit for a few weeks. Same